Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jerry and Bulldog Nation, welcome to the Eric Deters Show. As always, we're sponsored by Deters Consulting, Park Show. Go check us out on all of our platforms. Donald Trump, after being blasted by Haley and Chris Christie and DeSantis, blah, 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 and the media, has increased his lead in the Republican primary. He's up 50% now. His largest lead ever on all of his opponents. Yet, they continue to hold debates and they continue to bash him instead of just saying, let's all get behind Donald Trump. It's really a joke. It tells you how wicked the Republican establishment is. Here is something to ponder. All of the countries, the Arab countries around Palestine, all of them, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Jordan, etc., none of them will take Palestinian refugees. But the United States wants them. Joe Biden wants us to take them. Do you know why those countries will not take these Palestinians? They know they're filled with Hamas. Hamas and Palestine are one in the same. Nobody says that, but that's a fact check. Italy, the first country to ban lab meat. Amen. You know what? My favorite non-American food, ethnic food, is Italian. It's not even close. Had dinner with the Melmans on Friday night, and by golly, we ate at an Italian restaurant on Clifton Avenue, the bistro. Their lasagna was so good. And the portion was so big, I ate it for 3 days. Italian food is incredible. So leave it to the Italians to say, nah, baby, nah, on lab meat. January 6th committee fraud. They did not release all the video footage that should have been shown to show an absolute joke. By the way, I watched the police state last night. And it's hysterical that there was no destruction of any of our history inside that place. No paintings, no sculptures, no nothing. Isn't that what destruction is all about? Bill Gates keeps buying up farmland, and the reason why is he wants to control our food, how it's raised, how it's grown, everything. This guy is a diabolical asshat. This is hysterical. Apparently, after his meeting with Xi, China's going to let us keep pandas and send pandas back. Can you imagine what Joe Biden probably gave up over getting freaking stupid pandas back? Who gives a damn about pandas? I'll bet you he gave up something big for damn pandas. Iran refers to themselves and like-minded people now as the Axis, invoking a World War II term. The Axis was Italy, Germany, and Japan. Rosalind Carter, may she rest in peace. By the way, Bill Clinton screwed up and accidentally sent out a condolences relative to Dianne Feinstein. It's all right, Bill. All right, Javier Milei is the new president of Argentina. Probably hear more about this from Jamie Spinley. Guess what? He's conservative. DeSanctimonious and bird brain are the references that Trump gave these two in Iowa. DeSanctimonious and bird brain. Michael Steele. I get tired of these headlines. RNC chair thinks he says Trump should go be thrown in jail. This guy's not Republican. This guy, former RNC chair, CNN's unfinest. Rand Paul, the moderate, says, oh, conservative sometimes go too far. YouTube was right to shut him down. It was within their power to shut him down. Good old Rand Paul, baby, just turning moderate. Trump serves food at the border. And guess what else happened at the border? Texas Governor Abbott endorsed Donald Trump. Now, this makes me crazy. This guy right here was a nanny, molested kids, got 700 years. What a joke. What a joke. Why isn't he sentenced to death? You only can serve one life sentence, folks. This is all meaningless, judicial, legal horseshit. Molest all those kids and we're going to house him till he dies. Young guy, too. We don't put him to death. It's insane. This pig farmer serial killer is pretty freaky, man. You want to check out, just Google pig farmer serial killer, read all about it. Stocks and commercial real estate, according to many gurus, is about to crash. Muslim staffers in Washington, D.C. are mad at their congressmen and women and senators who are supporting Israel. Again, the first thing I thought was, how many damn Muslims are on congressional staffs? It's insane when you think about it. We're being spied on left and right. Donald Trump, I keep so tired of the economy's going to crash. He's a threat to democracy. All this threat BS. Donald Trump is a threat. The economy will collapse under Donald Trump. He'll start World War III. Yeah, that didn't happen, did it? It's about ready to happen under Joe Biden. Caitlin Armstrong was sentenced in her love triangle murder of her friend. Cruise condo. You can now, Jamie Spinley, for $100,000 buy a condo on a cruise ship. Sounds pretty cool for a retired person, if you ask me. Bill Maher called Donna Brazile on her repeated intentional mispronunciation of Vivek Ramaswamy. All right, 71-year-old Florida bank heist going to have life imprisonment. You know what? If you're going to rob a bank, do it when you're 71. United Health is using AI to deny elderly people care. Imagine that. Moms for Liberty, big gigantic donors. I am mad at Moms of Liberty because Karen Strayer and Myrna Eads were put out to pasture. Don't like it. Putin's girlfriend's under house arrest. Boy, it must be getting bad. Marianne Barry's funerals last week. Donald Trump, Melania, and all the kids went. Casey McWhorter, his last meal. Jamie, what would you order for your last meal?
Probably chicken parmesan.
Chicken parmesan. Here's what I would get. You ready? Filet mignon, prime rib, hamburger, with big old bun, tomato and lettuce, French fries, mashed potatoes, corn.
I changed my mind. Biggest piece of fish and chips ever with a nice pint of Boddingtons to watch.
See, I inspired you to change, all right? I would gorge on all that. Hot fudge cake from Frisch's, Grater's ice cream. Woo! All right. New Hampshire hospital shooting left many dead. Sad, sad, sad. A Walmart toddler, this kid right here, fired a gun inside his mom's purse inside Walmart. I believe in the Second Amendment. Come on. Mike Lindell got some vindication, a Georgia ruling that basically said, yeah, there is a lot of problems with these machines. MAGA is getting divided over Israel. Stuff happens. Balance of Nature getting shut down by the FDA. Putin is threatening to blow up the world. Are you scared? I am. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day. Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jew and Bulldog Nation, welcome to Eric Deters Local News, sponsored by Deters Consulting, Park Yoga. Check us out on all of our platforms. Well, an Eden Park crash led to an ejection out of somebody out of their windshield. Hit a light pole. Boom. Ryland Heights shooting. A guy named Marks has been arrested in a shooting which left one dead and one hospitalized. 4-year-old dead. This little girl, Chloe Darnell, was found dead in the woods. Her parents have been arrested. Kroger, this bagger, somehow in a matter of 1 month, Trey Brown, in a matter of 1 month, through exchanging of groceries, they claim he stole $1 million. That's insane to me. Divide 1 million by 30, how much he's got to be doing a day? Insanity. Runaway girls were found, 3 of them. They were off to see a male. Always a male behind the trouble, isn't there? Claremont double homicide. Raiden Montgomery found guilty. Committed the crime when he was 17. Tequila and a fork were used in a homicide by Joey Douglas. Tequila and a fork. Tequila bottle. Broke it. Springfield Township couple, these 2 folks were found guilty. Long trial, long sentence on the way. In local news, Florence is going to use eminent domain to wipe out the Church of Scientology. No word from Tom Cruise yet. Children's in the Union Promenade. Children's Hospital is going to have a little place in the Union Promenade in Union, Kentucky. The Jansen couple apparently made a donation. Why? Children's makes $1 billion a year. You nimrods. Kentucky news. Kentucky is ranked number 2 in domestic violence in the country. Glendale Street, this guy here, Glendale street preacher was shot and killed. They're shooting street preachers now, Jamie Spindley. In Ohio news, you've been to the Renaissance Festival. So have I. We both love it. Harveysburg is going to pass a tax on tickets to the Renaissance Festival. Come on, Harveysburg. Ohio landowners, there's a big company that owns most. Guess who's number 2, Jamie Spindley?
Kentucky.
Bill Gates owns the second most part of the land. Building crash. Somebody crashed into a building. Not good. They died. Okay, $1.85 million settlement from a school case. Why? It ain't worth 1.857. Frank LaRose failed to file timely financial report. No big deal. Maureen O'Connor is out there speaking of her nonpartisan effort to fight gerrymandering while she stuck it up the victims of Dr. Durrani. Director of Ohio Teachers Pensions been put on leave. Something's up. Kroger, you ready for this? They're tracking us. Is that a shock or hell no? Clifton businesses are having a hard time finding off-duty police to protect them. I was up there Friday night. Thank God I had my gun. Evictions are up. Why? Because of the COVID pauses are over with. And some Cincy brothers got to go on Shark Tank and make their pitch. Did they land? I don't know. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.
Hello, you're watching Eric Deters World News. This is Jamie Spindley with the latest headlines. Outsider Libertarian Javier Lemay won a nail-biter presidential runoff in Argentina yesterday after his opponent, Minister Sergio Massa, admitted defeat. At least 21 people have died in the Dominican Republic after heavy rain over the weekend, which displaced thousands of residents. An investigation has been launched after 9 people died when torrential rain caused a highway tunnel wall to collapse in the capital, Santo Domingo. The Nigerian government has announced that more than 4,000 prisoners have been released to ease overcrowding in jails. Interior Minister Olabuni Tuji Oho said those freed were inmates who had been in custody for not paying fines. The United Nations has said that Nigeria's prisons are currently operating at more than twice their total capacity. An Israeli-linked cargo ship in a crucial Red Sea shipping route has been seized by Houthi rebels, according to Israel, which claims Iran was behind the move. The capture of the vessel, which may be owned by a company belonging to one of Israel's richest men, raises fear that tensions from the Israeli-Hamas war are spreading to new maritime front. And in sports, Australia beat India in the Cricket World Cup final yesterday. Until tomorrow, as always, thank you for watching Eric Deters World News. Cheerio.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're American Jury and Bulldog Nation. Welcome to Sports Without Boundaries. Monday shows always jam-packed with lots of stuff. So let's get going. First, Joe Burrow. The report is he's blown his ligament right here that attaches his wrist to his arm, and therefore he has to have surgery, and he is out for the rest of the year. And the Bengals are 5-5. They have 7 more games left. We'll see what happens. My anticipation is based upon what usually happens with backup quarterbacks is the Bengals are not going to win another game. What do you think, Josh Wentz?
I don't think they'll win either.
All right. West Virginia blew out the Bearcats in football. The Bearcats are having a tough time in the Big 12. UK got beat by Carolina 17-14. They continue to spiral. But they have a chance this week to beat their crosstown rival Louisville. This could be big, the Governor's Cup, and they could rain on Louisville's parade, who continues to rise in the polls. Speaking of Louisville, Jeff Brom has Louisville. They lost to Pitt. I mean, they lost to Pitt at Pitt. They should have never lost that game. It's so hard not to lose a game, though. But they're in the ACC title game, his first year coaching the team. Michigan beat Maryland and won their 1,000th win. And, of course, the big game this coming week is Ohio State at Michigan. But Ohio State has to play it in Michigan, so I give Michigan the nod. You know, the two biggest games in college football, and I don't think there's any comparison, is Ohio State, Michigan, Georgia, Bama. Nick Senzel been cut. See ya from the Cincinnati Reds. Too inconsistent, they gave up on him. The UC Bearcats blew out NKU 90-66. Oh, well, last year NKU beat them. Maybe the Bearcats are back. Xavier rebounded from a loss on Friday to beat St. Mary's yesterday, 66-49. A.J. McCarron's on the practice squad. Why don't you bring him up? I'd never let anybody forget this game. It's the playoffs. You know, Andy Dalton's hurt. McCarron's quarterbacking against the Steelers at home. They're up. They're going to win the game. Jeremy Hill fumbles the ball. Instead of just taking a knee, they give it to Jeremy, he fumbles. Then what happens? Perfect. Pac-Man. Back-to-back 15-yard penalties. Bengals lose. This guy right here, not Andy Dalton, had a playoff game won. Why don't put him? I'd play him over Jake Browning. Sorry, I would. All right, Cincinnati Reds football. Did you know this, Josh Wentz?
I did not know this.
The first football game back in the 1930s where the Cincinnati Reds were a football team and they sucked bad for a couple years before they went up. The Cincinnati Reds football.
Their little logo, that's awesome.
Yeah. Dolly Parton sang Rocky Top. Look how good Dolly looks. Who cares if it's surgery? She was walked out by Peyton Manning. Then Tennessee turned around and got slaughtered by the Georgia Bulldogs. Logan Wilson's being attacked as a dirty player. 3 of the players he tackled got hurt. By the way, he was dirty on the Andrews tackle. Now, I don't think that had anything to do with Andrew, the tight end being hurt, but he did. He was dirty on that one. UFC, Dana White says, okay, screw you, Peloton. All Peloton bikes out of the gym. You got to like that. LaMelo Ball is being told to cover up the LF, his logo, because it violates. You know what? If somebody's willing to get a tattoo, I say let them have it. All right, Vegas Grand Prix was won by Max Verstappen. Doesn't sound like a great German. Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen won the Grand Prix. Shedeur Sanders can't feel anything in his hand. Why? He's getting the hell beat out of him. Colorado loses again. Jason Witten, formerly the Dallas Cowboys, is coaching his undefeated son's middle school team. I coached my son's middle school team quarterback. It was fun. They went undefeated. All right, Jerry and Jimmy have made peace, and on national television, Jerry says Jimmy's going into the Ring of Honor December 30th. And all of Cowboy Land said, ah. Joey Bosa was carted off with a foot injury. Looks like his season is done, as well as the Chargers season is done. Syracuse fired Babers after 8 years. His claim to fame, he beat Clemson once. Giants beat the Commanders. There was a fight, and you ready for this, Josh Wentz? At FedEx Stadium in Washington, there was no hot water for showers in the locker room. What kind of a franchise is this? All right, we mentioned this last week that Saban had 2 little Debbie cakes, and we assumed they were like chocolate Debbie cakes. They're oatmeal Debbie cakes.
Oatmeal cream pie. Yeah.
That's right. So there's oatmeal. He's getting his oatmeal just like John Wooden. John Wooden ate a bowl of oatmeal for breakfast every day. and he lived to be he lived a long life. All right, UK beat Stonehill. This was a shocker. Remember what I was saying about Dillingham and Reed Shepherd? Well, they shot the lights out of it. Reed Shepherd was 7 of 8 from 3, and they played the same amount of time as Wagner and Edwards. I don't care. They need to have Dillingham and Reed start, or make it very clear to Wagner and Edwards, Reed and Dillingham are going to get the same playing time as you, off the bench or not. As long as they play the same amount of time, I don't care. All right, what else do we have? Dallas, this is wild. Deron Bland, he tied a record, 4 pick sixes in a season. And he didn't even play half a year last year. And over the last 2 years, he leads the league in interceptions. 5th round draft pick. Their number 1 corner, Diggs, goes down, and this guy emerges. And he's signed for 2 more years. Next year, Diggs and Bland. Wow. Dallas's Micah Parsons set a record or tied a record. He's one of 7 players to get the number of sacks that he's gotten. He had 2.5 sacks yesterday. He's just unbelievable. Dustin Poirier says he'll fight Conor Gregor for the 4th time, but Conor Gregor will just cry and talk anyway. Jalen Carter of the Georgia Bulldogs, now the Philadelphia Eagles, is tied up in a shoplifting episode of his girlfriend. Why is Jalen Carter's girlfriend shoplifting? Crazy. DeMar Hamlin. They showed him when Taylor Rapp, the safety of the Bills, he's going to be okay, went out on a stretcher. CBS zoomed in on DeMar Hamlin, and they got grief for it. Why? I don't know why they got grief for it. Wouldn't everybody think, hey, I wonder what DeMar Hamlin's feeling and thinking right now, watching Taylor Rapp go off? I don't know how you pronounce this, but Kyrie Irving wore a keffiyeh? Keffiyeh? I guess he's for Hamas, too. Unbelievable. Aaron Nola re-signed with the Philadelphia Phillies for a whole bunch of money. NFL news, college football, NBA, NHL, too much to talk about, except Jordan Travis. Are you ready for this? Florida State, broken freaking leg. Broken leg. Will Florida State be able to hang in there? I say, nah, baby, nah. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day. Ladies and gentlemen, the American Cheer and Bulldog Nation, welcome to Pop Culture, where we have fun. Suki Waterhouse, she's hot, and she's also now pregnant to Robert Pattinson, and them are going to have a baby. They're not married. They're living in sin for now. Taylor Swift resumed her Eras tour. We're going to explain why a little bit more later, why it was interrupted. Diddy settled Casey's lawsuit, the singer, 1 day after it was filed for sexual harassment. Smart, Diddy. Way to put that sucker to bed. You can't make this up. Eric Clapton has a guitar that just sold for $1.27 million. Crazy. They asked Prince William, a little boy asked Prince William, how much money in a bank account? Prince William gave an honest answer. He said, I don't know. What did Kate say to Harry last time she saw him? Why did you betray us? Good for Kate. And they say, Jamie Spinley, Kate's, despite William's encouragement, nah, baby, nah, on Harry and Meghan. You know what? Meghan and Harry cannot be trusted. Period. Miss Pakistan, Miss Universe, wore this for her swimsuit competition. I hope she finished last. She may be the girlfriend of Atiq Mohammed Durrani, who is a philanderer of note. Toby Keith, 62 years old, saying he's tried everything. What's that mean? Probably a bad prognosis for a stomach cancer, but he says he's tried everything. The family of the Gilgo Beach serial killer is getting $1 million from NBC documentary folks. I guess it's fair enough. Brown Friday. Are you familiar with what Brown Friday is, Jamie?
No.
It's the day after Thanksgiving where there's more toilets stopped up than ever. Once a year. Isn't it disgusting? But it makes sense, doesn't it? Makes sense. They claim, Jamie Spinley, that there's dinosaurs on other planets. I say let's go get a T-Rex, bring it back, sell tickets, and be filthy rich. What do you say?
Absolutely.
All right. Jason Momoa, Aquaman, hosted Saturday Night Live, said he was from the Midwest and they moved to Hawaii and he loves water and he hates Dasani because of water bottles. He's a woke dude. All right, Miss Universe was won by Miss Nicaragua, despite there being two men acting like women. Dolly Parton came out with her new album, Rockstar. I haven't listened to it yet. I will, and then give you a full report. An ultra marathoner, this lady's been suspended for 1 year. Why? On a 50-mile marathon, she took a ride in a car. She said, sorry, cheater, taking a car. If she took a motorcycle or bicycle, it'd been all right. All right, Dan Lepetard says he took ketamine and it was like what God must be like. Jamie, let's try ketamine sometime this week. Elon Musk apparently does. All right, Kanye and Bianca have broken up. You know what? All I can ever see when I see Bianca, all I think of is boobs. I mean, she just cries out boobs. Bottom line is Kanye has gotten tired of them. Eric Church says he keeps in his pocket every concert the list of people who turned him down in Nashville, etc. I love that. Apparently, a supernova that came through here this year wiped out part of our atmosphere. See, so it's not climate warming, it's supernova. I mean, isn't that wild? Yeah. All right. Right here, Caitlin kept using the R word. You know what the R word is, Jamie Spindley? It has to do with a handicapped person.
Oh, yeah.
Special Olympics is not happy. Come on, Caitlin. You can't use the R word. All right, Macaulay Culkin showed up on Celebrity Jeopardy, and I thought, wait a minute, Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow. Hunger Games prequel took out Marvels. This is the prequel to the Hunger Games. A whiskey bottle sold for an incredible sum of money. It's like $100,000. Would you pay that much for a whiskey bottle?
No.
Me neither. Swift Music has been banned on a Philly radio station for tonight's game between Kansas City and the Eagles. You gotta like that, but I hate the Eagles. Go Kansas City. The Bengals are probably be out of it. So I root for the Bengals and Dallas. So since the Bengals aren't going to be in it, I want Kansas City to beat the Eagles. For my Cowboys. Swift fan died in Brazil. She was a big fan. The father wants blood. It was apparently like super hot and all that good stuff. It's not Taylor Swift's fault. How was school? Are you ready for this? The woke crowd says, you shouldn't ask your child, how was school? Because it's too traumatizing for them to answer that question. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. I'm going to go get a dinosaur.